Okay, hello guys, my name's Sam, and in this tutorial we're going to be looking at getting prepared to do an assembly in the following tutorial. So for an assembly we're going to need two parts. So what I've decided to do is, very simple, just model a nut and a bolt. Okay, so in this first one we're going to look at modelling a bolt. Okay, so we'll go to our file, new, part. Okay, so first thing we're going to want to do, just to get in good practice, is save. Okay, so we'll save this. So if I go to my documents, as you can see I've already saved a folder here called assembly. So if you save one called assembly, say, and just call it bolt. Okay, so we'll start off on our front plane. Turn that on, show. And we'll select our normal 2. Okay, so first things first, we're going to want to sketch. Okay, now we'll select, for this one, we're going to select our midpoint line. Okay, again, just to keep the origin and the planes in the center of the part. Okay, so we'll select our front plane, select our origin, and drag the line up. Okay, then we'll select another line and come from this point here and go out horizontally, and then just keep sketching. So from that point then go up vertically, then horizontally again, then up vertically, and back to this line here. Okay, now we'll add our dimensions. So for this bolt we'll just go with, say, an M6. So we'll set this radius here to 3. Okay, so what we're doing here, we're sketching in 2D half of the bolt, because we're going to be using our revolve feature. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll select the length. So select this line here and this line here and drag it out, and we'll set that to, say, 20. Okay, now we'll select this diameter here and we can set that to, we'll leave that as 6. Okay, and now this thickness here, we'll put that as 3. Okay, so we've got our dimensions, it's fully defined, the origin is in the center. Now if we go up to our features, top left hand side, and go revolved base, axes of revolution. Now, as you probably remember in the previous tutorial, we used the revolve, but we had a center line here. That was because the sketch was offset, okay, because we wanted the bore through the cylinder. In this one, we want it to be a solid part. So that's why we've sketched from the origin, and this is not a construction line, this is an actual line. So we'll select this line here, and tick that, 360 degrees, okay, tick. Okay, so we have this here. Okay, I'm not quite happy with this, it doesn't quite look right to me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go back to the sketch, and I'm going to change this dimension here to 4. Okay, and I'm going to increase this 20 to 30. Okay, exit sketch, top right. Okay, that looks a bit better for what we want. Okay, again, this is just a principle tutorial, so it's not exact figures of what a bolt dimensions actually are, just for the sake of the tutorial. So let's go up to our save here. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add the hex head. So we've rotated this round so we can go our normal 2, and we want to sketch on this plane here. Okay, sorry, not this plane, this face. We want to select this face here. Okay, and go to our normal 2, and we want to go to our polygon here, which will give us a hexagon. Go to the origin of the part, and drag that out. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to select this point here and make it coincident to this circumference. Okay, so we select the circumference there and click coincident. Okay, now that just needs to be defined the rotational way. So we will select, it doesn't matter where this is defined this way, but to keep it clean, we will select this line here and call that horizontal. Okay, just to keep everything in line with the model. Now what we need to do is we need to create a cut. But it's an open loop at the moment outside of this sketch. So what we need to do is we need to add a circle up here, select the origin, drag it out, and what we can actually do is we can just make that coincident to that. Okay, or we could have made it, if I delete that coincident there, we can select the circle and the circumference, the circumference and the circle, and we can call that co-radial. Okay, this is the co-radial relation. That means that the circumferences are equal. Now what we can do is we can select in our features extruded cut. Okay, so basically the opposite of extruded boss. So let's select the cut. Okay, and we want to select our regions. So we want to select this region here, 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 and this region here. And we want to select through all. Okay, so tick that, and we've got a hexagon. Now, as you can see, it's starting to look a bit like a bolt. Okay, now just to make it look a bit more realistic, we'll add what's called a fillet. Okay, so we'll come up to our fillet up here in features, click on fillet, and it's currently set at 10. Let's take that down to 1. Okay, items to fillet. Okay, we will select these edges here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and tick that. Okay, now that looks a bit too much. Okay, so we'll go back to our fillet, edit feature, and let's take that down to 0.2. Okay, tick that. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Okay, if we was to go to our display style and go from shaded with edges to just shaded, as you can see, that's starting to take shape. For modelling, we like to be in shaded with edges. Okay, so we can see what we're doing. Now what we'll do is, okay, we will add a chamfer to this top edge here. Okay, so we'll go back to our fillet and find the arrow and select chamfer. Okay, this is currently set at 0.5. I think we'll leave it at 0.5. If yours isn't, select 0.5, select the edge and press tick. Now we've got our chamfer. It's starting to take place. Okay, I think the last thing we'll not the last thing. What we'll do is now we'll add a chamfer to these edges here. Okay, so back up to the chamfer tool. 0.5. We'll select 0.2 again. Okay, and select. What you can do as well is, if I clear that, you can actually, if I select this face here. No, you don't want to do that. Sorry, you want to select these. You want to select these edges individually. Okay, so just go around and select the edges. Like so. Okay, then tick that. Okay, now that's added some chamfers in. Okay, just make it look a little bit more realistic. What we can do as well, we can add a thread along there. Okay, now what we can do is we can actually model the thread in, but that's a bit complicated at this point in time. We'll look at that further down the line. So what we will do is we'll add what's called a cosmetic thread, okay, which is just a visual representation of a thread. So if we go up to our insert, go down to annotations and find cosmetic thread. Now thread settings, we want it to start from this edge here, okay. So on anti-metric you get a whole bunch of options here depending on where you are in the world. So here in the UK we'll select anti-metric, metric threads, M6 by 1, that will do, and tick that. Now, as you can see, nothing's come up, okay. That's because it's hidden at the moment in our options. So if that is the same for you, you want to go to your options, document properties, detailing, and shaded cosmetic threads. You want to tick that box. Okay, so that was document properties, detailing, shaded cosmetic threads, and OK that. Now you can see our cosmetic thread has appeared. Okay, so let's save that. Okay, this is looking a bit like a bolt. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that at the moment for the sake of what we're doing. So that's saved. In the next tutorial we'll model a nut, and then following on from that we'll put them both together and